Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Doing It 365 with your host, Sir Fletcher and Flags 365. This is the episode where we highlight the prominent as well as up-and-coming entities from within the Afro-Caribbean space, both locally here in the UK and abroad globally. Now, today's guest is someone I have been very familiar with for quite some time. He's a man from the continent, from the beloved country of Gambia, and he's here in the UK doing amazing and astronomical things in the world of rehab, in the world of sports therapy, in the world of property investment, and also working as a data analyst for an important project company collecting the data on things to do with COVID. So my guest today is the amazing Abz from Sembo Sports. Good evening, Abz. How are you doing, bro?
Good evening, sir. Thank you for having me. I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
I'm very well. I'm tired. I'm good, but I'm feeling refreshed. It's been a long week, last few 6 days, as I've been busy helping out with the Vinci Volcano Relief Fund, and all of that stuff with Vinci Alliance Mass and AC Store UK. So let me not forget to mention them as well. Please go and check out AC Store UK on Instagram, and you can check out their website, acstore.co.uk. They are doing amazing things on the ground right now in St. Vincent to deal with the La Sofori volcano eruptions that are currently still happening. The volcano is still active, it's still erupting, the ash is still spreading and coming down. So it's going up and coming down, and it's coming down into the south of the island as well. So we need to give our full support to that and get behind that. So once again, AC Store UK on Instagram, acstore.co.uk is their website. Check them out, donate to them. Everything you donate, immediate response, they can go and buy the supplies and support the people as best as you can and give thanks. Now, Abz, let's get straight in. We're not going to waste no much time. Talk to us about what it's like growing up in the continent, in the country of Gambia, on the beautiful African continent, coming to the UK and then starting Sembo Sports.
Oh, where do I start? First of all, as I said to you before, thank you for having me here. I've got to know you, like you're part of the family in Flags. Shout out to all the Flags family members, We love and look after each other on the roads, in the carnival and stuff like that. But we go back to Gambia. Gambia, I was born and bred till I was at the age of 10 years of age. My experience in growing up in Gambia at that time, in comparison to now, when I go back on holiday, it's a bit different. But the time I grew up in Gambia, like as I said to you before, like it's one of the best experience of my life in the 10 years of me growing up, believe it or not. You're thinking 10 years of age, what can you possibly remember? That most people will think, but believe in me, certain things I learned as a 10-year-old or growing up from maybe I started playing on the street at the age of 4. Like that's normal back then. That's normal for people or little kids to be running around and, experiencing themselves and experiencing the environment and exploring. And alongside that time, you learn a lot of things, that your parents might not even know that you know or that you're aware of or that you're capable of doing. So for me, my experience, like it has taught me a lot growing up in Gambia. And even today, certain things I've learned in the Gambia, I use in my everyday life to today, And for me to say that means that obviously I took a lot of positivity from my environment growing up in Gambia. It's an environment full of culture, discipline, respect, and love and unity, really. Like the little we have in Gambia, we still share within our own community. Like in the UK, we don't have community as such, whereby back home, people only have themselves, so it makes me grounded. It makes me stay humble. It makes me know exactly what I want to achieve in life, literally, because I have seen poverty. I've seen people suffering. I've seen people dying over sickness and other factors, So if you're in a better comfortable position than most people out there, then you tend to make the best out of the situation.
Bro. We can start the podcast now. Cause that is so real and true. whether you're from the continent, born and bred there, or you're from the diaspora in the Caribbean or America or anywhere else in the world, or even if you're an African whose parents migrated to the Caribbean and then you're born in the Caribbean, it's everything that you said is so relatable. It's so parallel. It's so in tune to what it's like in the Caribbean as well, in Jamaica, Grenada, St. Vincent, Guyana,
Yeah,
Martinique, Guadeloupe, Aruba,
of
St.
course.
so on and so forth. So I love that. I love that. I love that. Talk to us now a bit more about your time studying. Why sports therapy? You've come from the Gambia, you're ambitious, you're eager, you're absorbing, you're taking in, like you said, the culture here in the UK. Why sports therapy? Because not a lot of men get into the sports therapy like that, so to speak,
Mm.
especially the side that you're in, which is the rehabilitation side. Talk to us about that and what was, the inspiring reasons behind it and what, led you to start as your own business.
Yeah. So it's a sense whereby growing up, all I ever liked to do is playing sport. Playing football, basketball, athletics. Besides, wrestling and fighting with with your peers. Growing up to see back home, especially who's the toughest and who can do what, and you know what I mean. So I'm more of a active and practical individuals and hands-on. So it's a sense whereby also being inspired by my family, um,
Mm,
mainly within the medical field. So I just basically merged the two together and did what I feel like can make me happy, and at the same time apply what's been given to me by seeing the success within my family who are within the medical field. At the same time, me also using my skills and tool to make myself happy, and obviously to 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 basically become successful in whatever it is I do that I can enjoy at the same time. So that's how I
mm,
merge the sports side and the medical side, and sports therapy happens to be, you know what I mean? And I went in there. It wasn't easy. A lot of people think that sports therapy is more of just like doing massage treatments. You know what I mean? It's
mm.
basically, technically speaking, you're studying physiotherapy, because you do a massage part of it as well as a rehabilitation part of it. You know what I mean? And I think that's a little bit of difference, because within our course we have to study rehab. You have to study how to implement um, uh, uh, sport specific exercises to make sure someone achieves their goal that they're looking to achieve. At the same time, you're able to study how to actually go and treat someone within their injuries and how to help them to recover. On the nutrition side, also how to give advice onto, how you can have a quicker recovery within your sport if you are, what I mean, if you are in a sport and at the same time you're trying to, you feel like you're aching and you don't see the reason why. I mean, you don't see how you can help yourself overcome that injury. What I mean? Like you're able to follow a nutrition advice based on that. On top of that nutrition, also you can talk about hydration, different kind of sports supplements that you can advise someone if they wish to take, and things like that. So
Okay.
I think,
Interesting.
long story short, is just bringing everything together, the medical side and the practical side, and me loving sport in general, football, and just basically learning both worlds, basically. I
I
think
love
that's
that. That's dope.
in a nutshell, that's the
That's
best
dope.
way
And
of explaining.
I like how you really elaborated and showed us
Yeah,
the similar the comparisons and the different compartments. Why the
yeah.
name Sembo Sports? What does Sembo Sports mean? When people see the
Sembo
name
is,
Sembo Sports,
yeah. Sembo is I'm a Mandinkan man from Gambia, so like it's my native language. Sembo means powers and healings. So it makes sense, right? So
yes, yes.
because I'm so proud within myself, it's like, as a
I
Mandinkan
love
man,
that.
I'm a powerful man, you know. And so, as a sense, with the healing of sports therapy, that's the whole purpose of the rehabilitation. So, hence the reason why I came with the name. I actually had to present this before coming out with the business. I didn't just get up one day and do it. No, I had to present it in my third year of my course. So I had to
Okay.
present it within the business side of the course that I had to do. I presented it, and it was wonderful because of the fact that with sports therapy, with Sembo, it's not just about going to do athletes. You know what I mean? Like to do treatments for athletes. It's not just about going to do treatments for someone that just most probably fell down the stairs and broke their ankle or something like that. There's more to Sembo, because my background working within the healthcare sector, I've got to learn at the same time when I was studying, I was working. I've got to learn that individuals that I work with especially the times that I was working within the learning difficulties and mental health, or people that are vulnerable, that can't really move too much and do much for themselves. I use my common sense to say to myself, hold on, these individuals can benefit from treatments or massages, for instance, just to re-educate their muscles and their joints to be active again. So when I presented it, I presented Sembo not just as an ordinary way of just going and running away and having to open my business just for people, for athletes and just general public that basically go and do their everyday work, and most people have a backache and want a treatment or want a massage. I also use my common sense and my work experience within healthcare sector to say, hold on, I can merge this together also and actually benefit from the people that are vulnerable. So what I also do is I've been actually going to people's homes, like care homes or residential homes, or to actually carry out treatments for individuals that are bedbound or chairbound, or that are not able to, or their gaits are not that, their movements or gaits are not that well. So what I do is I basically re-educate or try and re-educate their muscle to perhaps remember again how to move and how to do certain things that they used to do, because they've been sitting down for so long or been on the bed for so long. Yes. They cannot do certain things no more because they are not being active. So my job is to do
this will benefit people with arthritis as well and lupus as well, right?
Absolutely, sir. So that's I think for me that's where my biggest client base is, because there's a lot of sports therapists or rehab people out there, or physiotherapists out there. But one thing they forget to do is you got to think out of the box sometimes, right? And I thank God for my experience, for the fact that I was within that healthcare already. So I thought to myself, hold on, like, I'm seeing this person, he's always sitting down. Well, that's because not because he can't, not because also like he's not prompted to do so, it's because maybe perhaps his brain is telling him one thing, but his leg's not doing it. You know what I mean? So it's like his brain wants to do it, but because most probably he's been sitting down for so long, his joints are stiff. Not that he can't do it. Like, how do I re-educate that again? You start to do mobilization and you start to do soft tissue massage and things like that on it. And the most pleasing thing for me is to actually literally see how beneficial, like visually, it's crazy because I actually visually see how much I've actually, improve this individual's like life. Like, I'm not even, it's crazy. It's the most pleasing and rewarding thing for me. Beside the payment and the money, and obviously like it's trading.
Yeah.
You do a job, you get paid. You know what I mean? So it's very pleasing to actually do that.
I love that. I love that. So you've given us the high points. I love that. But I'm a man of balance. I want to know the low points. What are some of the moments in this time during studying or working that you feel like, wow, what are the challenges of running a rehabilitation business and sports therapy business? What are the challenges, especially in the last 12 months? How have you been able to cope during the pandemic? Has business increased? Has it been stagnant? Has it decreased?
No, it has decreased, because even during pandemic, I wasn't really attending to my clients, and the reason being is obviously restrictions and infection control, which is totally understandable, and that's why also I was lucky enough to actually be able to go and find another job that will actually cater for my needs as an individual, to not feel like something has been taken away from me so much that I cannot replace it for that moment of time. Hence the reason why I was able to work for the Office of National Statistics to do the COVID-19 survey. So, I didn't really find or feel the struggle within myself, but for the business, that's currently on pause, because as an individual, I don't want to be putting myself at risk as well as other people.
Understandable. So talk to us a bit more now about, where the business is based. Do you just do London? Are you up and down the Midlands? Will you go anywhere in England? Are you? Is it a one-man job, or is it like a team of you now? How have you developed and grown, and how long have you been in business for?
So Sembo has been at the background doing what I do since I graduated, so 2018, and but I've registered it as a company in 2019 because I started to see more and more client base. You know what I mean? So at first it was me only. Then I had a someone, or I call them a colleague. I don't call them like someone that's working for me. No, a colleague of mine who also goes to the same university that I graduated from, or went to the same university that I graduated from, to join me to when and as I need them to go and attend to certain people if I cannot. But I'm mainly based in London, and I don't really go out of the city to go and another city to do a treatment. No, but it's a London-based company, and here is where I live, and this is where my client bills are really.
All right, nice. So I just got to pause now and just remind people the links for Sembo Sport are in the description box. Go and check them out. Give them a follow on Instagram. Hit them up. Contact them for any rehabilitation, mobilization needs that you may have or a family member may have. Your neighbor, your friend. You don't know. In these times, we've all been sat down at home all this time now, not using our bodies, not staying active, and over stimulating our minds in almost a very limited and rigid and stifling way. So we need to get up, we need to get active. So I'm so pleased to be speaking to Abz Sembo right now about all of this.
Thank you,
Again,
sir.
let's look into now physical health and fitness. How would you recommend people, reignite themselves? Because this week everybody's been back in the gym, as you probably can tell. Everyone's been excited, been waiting. Yes, the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, I'm going ham. Should people be going hard in their first session? What are some do's and what are some tips and advice you could recommend? Are you in the gym now as well, now that gyms are open back up?
Yeah. So in regards to people going back to gym, I would advise anyone who hasn't exercised for a long period of time, who then decided to start exercising, to take it easy, because your muscles are not the same as they were when you were exercising. So I would advise you to gradually just take it easy, as if I'm not telling you to start it as a beginner like you did before, but don't think that you're Superman and go and pick up the same amount of weight you were doing before the lockdown. So it's about developing your muscle in the most effective way as an individual. And I don't go gym too much. The reason being is because I do more of body weight exercises. You know what I mean? What I'm looking for might be different to what you might be looking for.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You might want a bigger muscle and you know what I mean, bigger, whatever it is you want to do. Me, I'm more of an individual, like I'm more of natural fitness within myself, and good health, where I'm able to run for more than 30 minutes or play football for more than 90 minutes without not feeling like, oh, I'm struggling, you know what I mean? And still be able to have good muscle endurance, you know what I mean? Whereby I can, if I do decide to go to the gym, I can pick up a good decent amount of weight and still educate or re-educate my muscle and make them stronger. And the little fibers are what count for me personally. It's not about the big muscles only. If you forget the little muscles, the big muscles might not work to the best of their ability. You know what I mean? It's just, think about it. It's about, you are what you eat kind of thing. So if you eat rubbish, you might still look a bit bulk, but you wouldn't be able to do certain endurance or exercise endurance for a certain amount of time, because you wouldn't last long. You know what I mean? So I'm a bit different in that sense. But for those people that are looking for bigger muscles, I think it's about, start it moderately if you were expert in the gym, and you gradually develop yourself back to where you were, and then expand from there and go on to do the best of your ability. Really, that's my best advice, to be honest. And it's more of also making sure that you recover, good intake of fluids, you eat well, not to go to the gym and go, yeah man, well I can't because I'm fasting right now, but
Yes.
yeah man, yeah man, not to go to the gym and then just like, you know what I mean, like after the gym you go and eat chicken and chips. It don't make sense to me. When I see people them do that, I'm thinking, okay, cool, like, oh god, like, okay, you just went to the gym and did X, Y, and Z and burned some calorie. I get it. You're trying to put on muscle, but at the same
Is
time,
that
what you're
the best
putting,
option?
it's not the same. Yeah, you know, what I mean, go and eat fruits and maybe perhaps some protein stuff, like not just chicken and chips, because the oil in that chips, as you know, I don't even need to be here preaching that. You know what I mean? Many people know that already. You know, so it's just about natural health, really, and eating your
Exactly.
greens, I would like to say, and just eat reasonable portions. You don't need to eat too much at the same time. That's not even good for you, to be honest. But yeah,
That's true. That's very true. That's very
yeah,
true. So people, I know everyone's right now probably watching this saying, "What? I'm getting in the gym," or they've probably just come from a gym session or about to go to the
yeah,
gym session. Because my Snapchat, my IG, I haven't. You would have thought the gym was this
yeah,
new
man.
place
It's
that
mad.
everybody has to go to. I feel like people are more excited to go to the gym than to the bars and the clubs.
Of
People
course,
are
of
in
course.
there, they've got on their garments, they're ready, they've got their hair tied up, they've got
I
their
saw,
fitness,
man.
but it's
I,
pumping, and I love it, and I good. And me, I've been trying to just keep my jogging going. So I'm going to get back into my jogging as
there
well
you
for
go.
sure.
There you go, sir.
I love
You
that
know,
definitely. So I just wanted to get
I've,
someone
I've,
that's into fitness and the health world. What's your views on it from that side? Because it's interesting. Because I feel like everyone's making like it's almost like a trend now. It's like, okay, cool. I can't be in my house for so long now. Where can I
uh,
go? What, the gym? All right, cool. Let me go. At least I'm gonna see some people. I can talk to somebody, or I can just burn off and empty my mind and relieve some stress for sure. How do you relieve stress? What do you? Because for many people, you are their stress relief. So how do
yeah,
you relieve your own stress? Because the field you're in, you're healing. How do you heal? Who heals you? Who heals the healer?
bro. Family, yo, like what's crazy is I've been so busy, yeah, to an extent whereby like before when I had time, I was always doing track, boxing, as a form of fitness, you know what I mean? Boxing, track, football, basketball, whatever it is. But now it's crazy because of how much I've engaged myself to be able to later on in life relax rather than, you know what I mean, like still be working at a certain amount of time. Like
Mhm.
I don't even have time to actually sometimes release my stress the same way I used to. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Nowadays, I think it's more of locally here, just behind the flat I'm living in. There's a basketball court that I'll go to and play basketball sometimes. You know what I mean? And but apart from that, it's I don't have nothing right now that I would say I sit down and actually release my stress too. Like I think occasionally my boy comes and then we just go to the same park and do some boxing and then join in with the basketball and do some bodyweight exercises, sit-ups and push-ups and planks and things like that. But apart
Mhm.
from that, it's not as consistent as it used to be. I guess it's me being busy and growing up, right? So you have to prioritize yourself into certain
Definitely.
things first before you can, unfortunately.
Definitely, definitely. I
Yeah.
appreciate that and I respect that. And I can imagine that so many people are like you in the same situation. They're just finding little moments, little pockets to,
Yeah.
get their
Yeah.
fitness in, and their fitness is their fuel, is their therapy for sure. Because I'm
Of
just
course.
imagining, so for somebody like you who COVID slowed down your business completely, now you now luckily been able to stay afloat in other aspects. How have you been, mentally? How are you mentally coping? The boxing, the basketball, are you a person that just stays busy to keep cope, to keep
Yeah.
composed?
Yeah. That's it. Literally. Um, I think that's the best way of saying it. I keep myself busy by working and seeing how much I'm benefiting from all the jobs I'm doing. You know what I mean? So if you look at it, because I'm an individual whereby if I do have money, I don't just get excited and start spending it. You know what I mean? I just check myself first and see, well, how much can I put aside? More time I'm putting aside more than I'm actually spending. You know what I mean? And because of where I want to go, as I said to you, the property industry, you
Yes.
have to have money. You know what I mean? And me wanting to do that and spending my money and thinking I can sit down and not do certain job or not to do certain things to get money from that, then it's going to be very difficult for me to achieve that goal that I want to achieve. You know,
Oh,
so
true.
I get motivated literally by doing or by seeing how much I'm changing someone's life, whether it's through Sembo treatment or by doing the national statistics database thing for COVID-19, because literally, believe it or not, is very rewarding in data side, because the government uses the data we collect to actually make a decision whether the country is safe enough to come out of the lockdown or not. So for me, who is actually out there doing the study work, for them to get that result, I'm happy, and that's very rewarding for me in that way.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so that's a form of reward for me. As well as the end of the month, when you see like all the other jobs you're doing, everything coming, you know what I mean, in one bank account, and then you just sit down and see, you know what, you get self-motivated and you want to go on and do more.
Definitely.
So that's how at this moment of time in my life, I'm not saying it's all about money or it's all about X, Y, and Z, but at this moment of my life, that's what I'm trying to focus on, to be honest. Yeah.
Tunnel vision. You got the tunnel vision right now.
Exactly, brother. Exactly.
Talk to us about the property investment, because you've mentioned that before. You know, how are you getting into it? Because people mention this all the time as a long-term, lifelong, lucrative, industry to be in. But as we can tell, the property market has been shaken up quite a bit in the last decade, and even more so in the last 12 to 16 months. So as a young property investor coming into the business now, how are you seeing it? How are you feeling about it?
I'm excited. The reason why I'm excited, as you rightly said, you know, I mean, I still got the age on my side whereby I'm able to take risks, certain risks that I might not be able to be comfortable doing later on in life. So that's one thing for me that will just give me that confidence to go for it now. I mean, as you rightly said, the property industry or the property market right now is not the greatest due to the COVID-19 and the lockdown and things like that. That was what has been happening. But the market is down right now, so it's an opportunity for those that can invest right now to do so, because it's a matter of time where it's going to shoot up again, and that's when you're going to see your wins or your coins, you know what I mean, doubling or tripling or whatever. So if you can do it now, then do it now. And but you don't just get up and want to go and be a property investor. It's better for you to learn from a coach, or better for you to learn someone who is experienced or someone who has become a multimillionaire from it, for you to take that knowledge and then apply it within yourself to become successful. Certain places or certain things they might have done during their journey, they might have done wrong and they've learned from. That's something that they can take and teach you, who can then just use that and say, you know what, I'm thinking of doing that, but it's not a good call, because I remember the individual who trained me said that's a bad call, because when they did it, this happened and they lost X amount of money. So you who have spent money to educate yourself, you've now actually, in a way, saved losing money. You know what I mean? Because now you have that knowledge not to do what you were about to do. You know, and obviously I think the courses itself, they allow you to see other strategies of how to actually buy property. There's different strategies of buying property. It's not all about just going to put a 25% deposit down and then paying every month. You know what I mean? You can actually have control of property without not earning it yourself. That's something that you will be aware of if you do go out there and learn from the best.
Research it.
Yeah. As well as research it, yeah.
I like that. And I'm glad you mentioned that point. Go ahead.
I must say that the researching is different from actually being in a classroom full of investors or classroom full of people that have been through the experiences that you can gain from. So you can go to Google and type in rent-to-rent properties, for instance. That's something that's a form of management strategy that you can actually have control of property that you don't actually earn, but you can make profit from that property that's not even yours. You know what I mean? You can go Google and do that, but there's a lot of things that you might not be aware of that can actually make you lose your investment. You know what I mean? Or make you go down the drain with that.
Nobody's controlling that. Yeah.
As you know, knowledge is power. So when you do invest within yourself to gain that knowledge, you can only become powerful within it. So
most certainly, I love that, man. So speaking of your businesses and COVID and all, and the property, I want to bring it back now to Gambia before we wrap up in these last 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see a need for your business in Gambia? Would you then create like a section or make it become international and say, okay, here's Sembo Sports G what's the abbreviation for Gambia? GA or GB in Gambia? And also, would you be willing to invest in property in Gambia? Because right now, I can assume that the market in Africa is very, very, is very, very beautiful.
Of course, of course, 110%. You know what I mean? It's not just in the long run. If you ask me this, like, if you ask me 10 years ago, like, where are you going to retire? Because I was young and naive, I would say to you, you know what, I'll retire here. But brother, I'm not retiring here. You know what I mean? Nah, dog. No, sir. So it's a sense whereby whatever it is that I'm trying to put in place right now is to benefit me later when I'm sitting down in wherever God has given me to sit down comfortably back home. You know what I mean? So that's why the hustle, that's why the education, because I want to go and take that and apply it somewhere where I know not only can it generate income for me, but for the local people where I came from.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So yeah, in the long run, I would like to go to Gambia and invest in a lot of properties in Gambia. I mean, I plan to go to Gambia December, hopefully with the restrictions being eased off, and I will start from there. But before I go there, also I would like to put things in place here before I go there, because when I do go there, then when I put things in place here, then that whatever income I get from here can generate to make it easier for me back home when I buy land and stuff like that, whilst I work and live life here also, you know, because life happens, you know. So
yes,
I try to put things in place here. Absolutely, life happens. I try to put things in place here that will make it later on easier for me to go on and move on and do better and greater things back home.
I respect that, bro, and that's the same kind of mentality of my friend I'm on as a regards to Jamaica, and I'd love to even get into some African property as well, for sure. Gambia, I have to mention Gambia again when I speak about Jamaica, because the culture connection is there. Talk to me about how Gambia has drawn in and absorbed Africa in general, but especially Gambia. For a West African country, they've seemed to gravitate towards the most. Our lingo, our culture is very much the same. You lot love reggae, you lot love dancehall. I'm hoping to try and get soca in there as well, but let's focus on the reggae and the dancehall and the Jamaican culture. How did that come about? How do you, from when you were growing up in Gambia and your knowledge as a Gambian man, what's made the affinity so strong, so tight with Gambia and Jamaica, would you say?
It's music, man. It's all through music. Growing up, me as an individual back home, as I said, I was more out running around, barefooted, like playing around in a dirty mud, whatever it is. But at the same time, my surroundings, the music I used to hear used to be reggae music. I mean, I love like Bob Marley, yo. Like, come on, man. Like, that's one of the legends that actually got a lot of people involved into dancehall because of what he was teaching. You know, I mean, everyone felt his sufferation or the sufferation of the Jamaicans or the Caribbean islands. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people can relate to a lot of things that he was saying or teaching or preaching at that moment of time. I mean, Gambia is seen as a smaller Jamaica. I don't know if you're aware of that. Like, that's what a lot of people say. Like, because we love the Jamaican or Caribbean culture as well as the music. Because Gambia people, like, I'm sitting here as a Gambian Muslim to say that people smoke weed in Gambia like you would think that they're from the Caribbean. You see how free it is for people to, you know what I mean? Even though in their household, their family would not approve it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And then you have them doing the dreads, just like Jamaica. Even though their mom and their dad will say, "Well, on, that's not against. That's actually against most probably your religion, because when you're doing ablution, you might not be able to wash your hair properly to get in there to make sure that you're clean. You know what I mean? Because of their hair. You know what I mean? So people are doing certain things because they are influenced by music and the love they have for the music. So that's why today, Gambia, you have a lot of Caribbeans that go there, and literally from the diasporas, they will leave wherever they're staying and go to Gambia and buy a beautiful home by the beach and live there and retire there. I mean, the culture itself, Gambian people overall are lovely people, right? They're welcoming, down to earth, kind. However, they don't condone disrespects. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And yes, that's one thing. That's, I think, from myself or any other Gambian, that's the only thing you see a Gambian person more time go out of the railings. Like literally, that's the only time. But apart from that, they're very welcoming, respectful, and they're very kind, always willing to help. And the food. Speaking about the food, brother, you know what? I watched one of your podcasts the other day when you were eating the jollof rice. I wasn't happy,
We didn't mention the wall of tribe.
You know what's bad?
The wall of tribe.
I was like, hold on. I was like, Jaylani, I'm waiting, you better shout out Gambia quick.
I knew somebody was gonna tell me about. I forgot something, You see that? No. Don't worry. So you know what we're gonna do?
Yeah.
We're gonna have to get some Gambian food on. I'm gonna have to do a mukbang with some Gambian food and probably get you involved as well. So you need to take me to a Gambian spot, get me all the finest Gambian food, bring it to me. We sit down, we do the mukbang together with some other people, and we have a time talking about that. Because for sure, because there's a big debate. Ghana, Nigeria, Gambia, the wall of tribe made the jollof.
Listen, this is what I say to my Ghanaians and my Nigerians brethren. Yeah, I'll give you the Afrobeat scene. I'll give you your fufu. I'll give you your cassava. I'll give you all of your other things. But when it comes to jollof rice, my friend, leave that one. There's no point. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not gonna be here talking about that basically. But I just want to address that because when I saw it, I was like,
no, I love that. So I love that. Yeah, pull me up because if I forget, it's good to remind me. If I forget, it's good. So now I remember, I'll be like, yeah, cool. So next month. And it's funny because Gambia's independence is in March as well.
So yeah, it was not long ago.
When is Gambia's independence?
I think it was, if I'm not wrong from the top of my head, I think it was March 22. I think.
Yeah, and Ghana's is in March as well. So
it's not
definitely for sure.
Yeah,
definitely for sure. We're gonna have to get that done most certainly because I have to make sure I taste that Gambian food probably before. Obviously, I'm not gonna wait until the independence, but therefore.
No. Like, listen, what I would do is, if anything, whenever you're free, as I said to you, like. We're currently doing the fasting, but you know what I mean? When you're local and free on Eid Day, I will invite you for you to come to my auntie's house where we're going to have feast most likely. And sit down and eat and taste a proper jollof.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's do that.
And we call it Rene Chin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Rene Chin, one pot. You know what I mean? That's all you do.
Yeah. I'm down. Some big up the live viewers. Miriam Lugum is saying that it's February, I believe. She's saying is the independence February.
Yeah.
So
okay.
we'll have to fact check it and so comment below if you know it.
Most likely correct. Yeah, I should know this, but right now
So I really appreciate that and I love that.
Thank you, sir.
I can't wait to come to Gambia because I'm like, I've heard about this place. My mom's gone to Gambia and she said my mom's opened a bank account in Gambia. I'm like, how did you go to the country and already have a bank account there? So it's like they're so welcoming. I feel like Gambia was the first country to do this whole return home. Like it's like how Ghana's did the whole return home thing now. Gambia has been doing that, just that they haven't publicized like that in a massive way on a major global scale to the diaspora in America or elsewhere. But they've been doing that because as you said, the Caribbeans have been coming back home to settling, and I can't wait to go. So all my Gambian people, Sticky B, Maded, everybody like that, let's link up, let's talk, let's connect, let's bring the vibes there. You know, and obviously, if you're watching this, follow, subscribe, hit that notification bell to keep in tune, and make sure you're following Abz on his personal page and at the Sembo Sports page as well.
And it has come to me now, like it's the 18th of February. You see this?
See there, the 18th of February. So big up Miriama, thank you so much for that. I love when the live viewers are here in the moment and can just comment and let us know. You know, we need that. We need the little fact checking and support like that for the world. So what's the plans now for 2021? You're saying you're going Gambia in December. Hopefully I can come with your love. So, you know, shout out the whole Gambian team. Let's probably arrange that, man. If we can go in December, let's go and let's work, let's enjoy it.
When I tell you the amount of people that I'm going with in Gambia, this year, I don't know. I'm not gonna care for everybody. But I'm not saying that to X you out. You're coming, bro. Because you know, say you're flag family. You understand?
Yes.
But it's a sense whereby like we have a whole bag of people that want to come because of the fact that obviously we want to go there for music purpose also, as well as investment in properties or land and things like that. Me, my close brethren, Sam Kino, who is an upcoming artist here. And as you know, I've got contact with certain upcoming musicians in Gambia, or I know family members of mine that actually firsthand grew up with one of the biggest artists in Gambia, ST Brikama Boyo. Brikama is the town I grew up and from when I was living in Gambia. So what I'm trying to do is get my close brethren Sam Kino to go and obviously feature with Madid. You've heard Madid's music. It's mad in it. It's reggae music I've sent to you.
Yes, it's good,
crazy.
It's good.
You know what I'm saying? So Samuel got that UK influence kind of Afro swing going on. If you fling that on the reggae beat in Gambia with the different scene, the videos, I mean,
let's make it happen. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, man, that's what we're trying to do still.
Yeah,
so December we're trying to do that, and just to go and embrace and see the culture and the tourism that Gambia has to offer, the beautiful beach and food, and just relax and soak in the rays, man, the sun, and just embrace life. Because here more time we're in a bubble. You know what I mean? All we see is light. Like you don't even look up and look past and see stars. You can't see no stars in the UK, dog. Because you don't. You know what I mean? Like you don't even think above and beyond sometimes because you're thinking it's all about here. It's not. There's life, man. There's life, and that's why I grew up to know that I don't want to retire here, man. I want to make the best out of the situation because I've seen sufferation, and I will go and just apply whatever tools I came from here, apply it there and make a better situation out of it, literally.
100%, bro. It's been a pleasure speaking to you. I'm going to wrap it up now. I was going to remind people once again, please go over to AC Store UK on Instagram and give the donations to help with that team underground in the St. Vincent Volcano Relief Fund. Also check out acstore.co.uk. You can see the website there as well. Make donations there via the PayPal or straight to the UK bank account. And they're working underground with the people in St. Vincent to help manage and support the shelters that are in instant need, as well as check out the High Commission from St. Vincent UK. They have the GoFundMe as well. There's so much happening. Make sure again you follow Sembo Sports. The links are below in the description. It's been a pleasure speaking to you, Abz. I've been so influential. This is Flax Free Sam. This is Doing It 365 podcast. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and a subscribe button, leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next episode. Peace and love.
For those of you that also want to go and try some Gambian food and things like that, you can interface Gambia. You have Adam's restaurant. Whoever lives in East London, you know, they have wonderful Gambian cuisine there that they can varieties of different jollof rice, and as that's one of the most famous food in the West Africa. So if you want to try the Gambian jollof rice, they're there. You know what I mean? You have JS Catering also. You can follow their Instagram. You have the John's family. You have Kips and M's food. You know, those are all individuals that provide and cater for food from the Gambia. So you're more than welcome to also check them out. For those people that I can't invite everyone for eat. Get me? So only you, my brother.
Yeah. Nice, bro. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Take care. We'll catch up.
See you soon. Take care.
Take care.